tonight. So I am putting my channel points on Toronto tonight. So here we are, destined, taking this off, going for this P1 as we are on the POV of these Denver surrenders. Get into this P1 first, collecting this opening time. Ultra is going to try to get this guy going. Outer launcher. He heard him. He got the call, but he gets taken down. His teammates do get 2 kills. Vaza picks up the 3rd and only leaves player 3. That's Noogle left there alone to break this hill. Does he try to break it or does he wait for his teammate? He decides to break the back up, but he gets taken down. Eventually, in the long run, as Toronto does get a break here, Destin.
Yeah, I mean, so unfortunate to be named Ultra facing a team Toronto. I mean, I think that's just some bad juju right there. But Denver at the has the lead to start after a really solid P1, but I think Toronto's going to overtake them just in pure scrap time alone. But you see Denver kind of retreating back to this P2 area. They really want to hold it down, but they're going to have to deal with Captain, and deal with Captain they do. Camless gets a nice kill in the back on him, and then number 3 Noogie goes down as well. And now Denver has a really good setup here. They just kind of have to watch the front, and you see Camless just aiming down at AR, putting in work, and there's 2 down on Toronto. You got the other 2 players pinching as the other 2 spawn behind them, and if Denver's able to read this pinch, this could be a very bad situation for Toronto. Noogie's managed to get 1, so that side of the pinch is still alive, but Toronto definitely has a lot of work to do to break in here.
Yeah, and player 1 did just get a big kill. Reacts, he gets big. That's 3 big kills by Reacts. Looking for this 4th kill. He finally gets taken down, but his teammates are there. They are there on this hill. It looks like it's maybe a rotation. No, player 7 is coming for this attack. Camless, he gets taken down by Brides. Looking like Denver Surrender. Going to give it the rest of this scrap time and just go ahead and start getting prepared for next. Rise, I think, already knows this, so he's already on his way to this next hill. He got Captain slapping. Captain Slappy making his way through maybe before he gets taken down. As his rotation jumps off, it's all Denver Surrender with the opening kills.
Yeah, it's all Denver Surrender with the opening kill. They have a good habit of getting those opening time, but if they're able to just kind of complete a full hill and not let Toronto get the scrap, I mean, that's going to set them so far ahead in this game. And that's what they want to do. But look at Noogie in the back there. He's going to be a problem as nobody's really looking. I don't think Ultra even saw him wrap around the corner. So now you have Noogie just entering and nobody knows where he came from. And that gives Toronto the clearance to enter as well. But Denver gets 3 kills on the Toronto. You still have rides around this area. Bowser might not be able to see him. That's really bad angling on the scope there, but I mean, Denver is just defending this super well. Toronto is just throwing bodies in the hill, and finally they get a break, but Denver gets some really good time there.
Yeah, they do, and the game should be about 77-70 as this next hill pops off in Denver. They're doing a great job in this hard point of getting to the rotation, getting to the hills first, making the Toronto Falters fight from the back foot, and that's what you want to do if you are Denver Surrender. You want to make these guys track from the last hill, get the rest of that scrap time, but man, 10 seconds into this hill, Toronto Falters come in with the break that they needed, getting the kills by Rise and Noogie, and this 30 seconds, well, first 30 seconds, looking like it's going to be in control of Toronto Falters.
Yeah, that's super important. I don't think Toronto has had a good start on a hill so far, and I mean, if they can just run up the clock with that, which it looks like they're keen on doing, that's a 3 down on the side of Denver. Camless gets to kill Noogie, but Camless goes straight down as well. So that's all 4 kicked out of the point there for Denver. Toronto is looking to get a full 60 here, and that is the type of break that we constantly talk about. You get a full 60 when the game is tied, and you have a massive advantage going forward and a little bit of room to do some different things on the map there. So really great job out of Toronto. You see Denver falling back to this next hard point area. They want to make up that time, and it looks like Toronto is just completely shut out. But I mean, if we see what we saw last hill from Toronto, where they just get the break, then Toronto could turn this into a good situation as well. You have E-Bug. He's still on the point for side Denver, but he goes down as well. Toronto is chaining hard points very well.
Yes, they are. Even if they don't make the rotation, They know how to break into these hills, holding down this restaurant, looking in all directions. Don't know where these Denver Surrender players are coming from. They are deciding to take a long route, but that long route works to no avail because Toronto Falters, they are making the read. You know this rotation is on. It's going to be on for the Denver Surrenders. They have been a great team as rotating, getting to these hills. But as far as holding on to these hills, they have not been doing a great job at that. Let's see if that change here as they are here first, Destin.
Yeah, Denver now has a 60-point deficit to make up. Again, Toronto is outside the hill, but if they break in, this could be another awesome chain out of them. But Denver has the high ground, Anakin, and they're going to make use of it. Ebug, again, last one on the point. Toronto breaks on, but you have Camulus just around the corner. Maybe able to peek and get some kills, but Captain Slappy is just hiding in this corner, just out of sight from Denver. Denver has to make a push onto the point to at least get a contest going, but in that hesitation, Toronto is getting some kills and pushing forward. Now you see Ultra coming alive. You see Ebug back on the point from the backside of the point, getting some kills on the Toronto from the back there. That's going to be a good retake of the hill, but it doesn't really do much in the end to Denver's deficit.
Yeah, I think it may give them some a little bit of confidence that they can break back into these hills when needed. They are here at this P1 first, so they're gonna have to hold this P1. Nobody's getting the rest of that scrap time because this rotation to P1, I guess, it seems to be the most important thing right now for both teams. Kills going back and forth as the kill feed lights up red and purple. No team jumping on this hill. They're trying to get control of these spawns. Toronto has control of the spawns right now. Finally, a Denver player finally decides to touch it so they can start accruing some of this hardpoint time, getting closer to that 200-point mark. Because you get that 200-point mark, you feel like you got the game in reach. You can start playing a little bit more aggressive. But at the 30 seconds mark, Denver is here, and the score is 174 to 130.
Yeah, the 200-point mark is definitely such a psychological barrier that if broken, it just kind of gives the team that breaks a lot of confidence. So, that number is important, but Denver's actually making up some good time here. You see Reacts, the last man for Toronto, goes down in a P1 area, but Toronto has used the opportunity to take over P2. You have Ultra kind of moving back here as the pinch comes through with Vows, and there you go. That's 3 down for Toronto, and Denver has chained the hills. What Toronto was so good at doing the last set of hills, this could win Denver the game if they execute flawlessly here. You see Toronto figuring out how to get onto the point, but 2 go down. You have Reacts in that kind of chandelier area trying to look for the entry, but Denver is all around. You see number 8 in Ultra even getting a kill, or sorry, Ebug getting a kill onto Rise. That's going to be a poor one, but now Toronto is spawning so close to the point. I'm actually surprised. I don't know if Denver realizes this. His reaction kind of walks up the steps, and they do get the kill, but I mean, that is some Fugazi spawns if I've ever seen it. So Toronto actually might be able to make some good time out of this hill if this pinch from Reacts comes through. But I mean, regardless, Denver done a good job so far, but the spawns from Toronto just so strong.
Yeah, man. But Denver, like we've been saying the whole game, they have been doing a great job of getting on this rotation, and they are here first. They're doing a great job now these last couple of hills of holding the hills, for a little bit longer, not letting an immediate break happen by the Toronto Falters. Kill feed is going back and forth. Noogie, he is the last one up, and there is a break by Toronto, but he has to watch out for Ultra, who's making his way through the back. Finally just decided to turn around. Now just wait for his teammates because that break did happen ever so quick. As soon as I just said Denver Surrenders was doing a great job of holding. They get broken just really quick. Captain Slappy takes down Baza. He takes down E-Bug. Niggy takes down Ultra. Camulus is there to take down Rise. There is one more player there for the cast, and that is there for Cap and Slappy in Toronto Falters. If they hold this hill here with no contest by the Denver Surrenders, they can win the game here, Destin.
And we do mean no contest, because it is literally only a point away. If Denver just steps on the point, then Toronto cannot win it here, but Toronto is going for it. They're killing Denver every which way, but finally, Denver member gets on the hill. It looks like Toronto is just moving. They just accepted that it was pretty much going to be impossible to win it there, or very unlikely, and now you see him on the next point. Ebug has to slay out, but he goes straight down. Denver is spawning behind them. I don't know if Toronto's going to read this, but Valza might be able to make a play here, but Toronto's already collecting time. They only need 3 more seconds. Denver has to get on the point, but they're just not able to do it. They have to hide behind the wall from the gunfire, and Toronto takes map number 1.
Toronto map number 1, 250 185. I mean, they just did a great job of playing this hard point together as a team. They was not getting on the rotation here for this search and destroy at El Silo for this platinum pre-made match between Denver Surrender and Toronto Falters. E-Bug already came through this middle building, already taking a gunfire. Campbell starts off with the first blood and the second as he gives his team the two-man advantage. Denver surrenders. It looking like they're getting control of this A site. Ultra now is trying to make his way to this bomb site. Bomb going down on A. It's up to Renax and Niggy to go for the retake.
Actually just reacts as Noogie goes down. Reacts trying to make a challenge. He'll get a kill on the E-Bug, and he's trying to shoot through walls, but he doesn't get anything so far. Denver is all around the bomb. Surely this is going to be a mound for Reacts to climb. He tries to go through the door, but he gets shot in the back instead, and Denver is going to start out hot on this S&D with a first round victory. With, I think, an offensive victory too, right? That's definitely one you want to start out with, as defense tends to be just a little bit easier. So Denver already starting out on the right foot.
Yeah, they are, man. And that is a great job for Denver. And matter of fact, let's just give Campbell his props as he went 3-0, getting through the Toronto Falters by himself. So let's see how they defend, but let's more importantly see how these Toronto Falters respond on this offensive round.
Yeah, Toronto on offense now. They're kind of staying on their side of the map so far, but so grouped together to have each other's back for a trade if it needs to happen. But Denver's creeping around the side here. You see Ultra rounding the corner. Toronto just needs to look behind him, but I don't know if they will. Ultra doesn't have dead silence, so he's going to take it slow, crouching, and he gets one onto Noogie. And Ultra's going to just go back and lock in his winnings as Wowza gets a kill on the captain as well. Again, similar scenario as the last round. Denver is up 2 here. Wowza trying to make that 3. Reacts, gets killed. It's all up to Rides, the bomb carrier, who is on A-bomb, gets a kill on the E-Bug, but surely this is a doomed scenario. Rides is just looking every which way that he can, but every way he's not looking is where the bullets are coming.
Yeah, man. Denver surrenders coming out impressive with the 2-0. Bowser right there. I think he's on a 3-0 right now. You never surrender. Just flip the script. Like you said, search and destroy. Teams turn it on. Denver must have heard me saying, oh, Toronto had a little edge on them, and they was like, we're going to show you top life as they coming out with this 2 impressive opening rounds. So this is a big round if you are Toronto Falters, because you do not want to be down 3-0 in the search and destroy.
Absolutely. Toronto Falters having all of my channel points. They do not want to piss me off, I promise you. But Ultra goes down. Toronto, hear me. Ultra goes down. And finally, Toronto has a man advantage for the first time. They have a 2-man advantage. A 1-man. Rides might be able to get this kill, though. Goes around and just able to get a kill on the E-Bug. It's a 2v1. It's all up to Wowza, who is 4-0 himself. So definitely a menace and not the one you wanted remaining if you're Toronto. But Toronto's still with the power here. Now Wowza has to figure out how he's going to pick up the bomb and get a plant going, but Toronto just want to play it safe and wait for Wowza to make a mistake.
Yeah, man, Bowser, he's taking his time. His 4th streak is on the line. So does he play his streaks or does he go for this bomb plant? He's jumped down, I think, hit the sound. Oh, the sound has been made, but player 7, I think he has not heard him. So Bowser now has made his way to this bomb. He has the bomb picked up. He has it picked up now. 19 seconds ago, he's going for this quick plant. He's down on this bomb site. Oh, he didn't plant it yet. He went for the fake. He opened the door. He went for the bait. Oh, he baited one out. That's Noogie. Bomb going down with 8 seconds, capping with the reach out. And there's the trade. Toronto Falters with the big bounce back round. And they needed this round, Destin.
They did, and that's good discipline out captain. As his teammate goes down, he immediately looks to see what he could do to finish up on that kill and eventually gets it. So good discipline out of captain there. Wowza did all he could, and it almost looked like Wowza might be able to take the round, but Denver ends up going down and Toronto gets their first round win. Now on the offensive side, let's see what Toronto does.
Yeah, we're looking At the POV of Nuggy. He's making his way to this top green building as the bomb is in this middle building, making his way towards A. You got Denver Surrenders being aggressive. E-Bug does get the first kill on to Reacts, looking to see if he can try to find a second one as he's going all the way around. Dead Silence Pop. I think he may have gotten some great timing as he just, he ran right by Captain, but Captain is able to take him out, but Ultra is there to take out Rise to keep the man advantage for the Denver Surrenders. I think this may be another challenge in the back, and Captain wins that battle, but he does not win the battle against Ultra. 2v1, Noogie, last man alive. Can he have the ice for his team? As the player laying down, he does not see him. Denver surrender, go up 3-1 in this search and destroy.
Denver surrender up 3-1. Like again, we keep saying search and destroy tends to be the maps that teams flip the script, and it looks like Denver wants to squeak out a win here and tie this series up 1-1. They're playing really well, really disciplined, and they're just executing on the plays that they need to. So they're doing a good job so far, and Toronto needs to kick into gear if they want to protect this series advantage that they have so far. But Toronto now on defense, this is definitely the time to get something going.
Yeah, so let's see if they can win this round. A big defensive round for Toronto. They are putting pressure on this A site as it looks like Denver are taking this bomb that way towards this A site. I think the chow is being made on the A side as you got Ultra and E-Bug all in this corner. Capitalist does get the first kill. Rise get that trade. Ultra and Cap'n both trade back and forth as it's now down to a 2v2. Bomb is still up in the hands of Ultra, but outside of this A door, I think that player 6 is inside that A building. Just being patient, waiting for anybody to jump on this A site as you got Captain Slappy trying to get information for his teammate.
Yeah, and I feel like just at this point, every offensive team on this map just knows that there's some defender always in that A bomb site. They just kind of assume it, and they'd be right in this scenario. You see Ultra trying to figure out what he wants to do. It looks like he might be going for a B push the long way, but Reacts gets a kill on the Camulus, and now that puts pressure on the Ultra to make something happen. He doesn't have his buddy for backup, and he needs to get this bomb down, but there's a Toronto player on both bomb sites, and that hesitation is just going to be the final nail in the coffin for Ultra, and Ultra goes down at the hands of a long-range Toronto player. Such a great kill there for the final kill cam. Just sees him through the opening of the window there. That's going to seal the deal for a Toronto victory. There, it's now 3-2 in the scoreline. Denver surrender now on the defending side, so they have a little bit of advantage to push this to the 4-2, but Toronto maybe going to flip the script again and make this a tied S&D. We'll see.
We will surely see here as Toronto are making their way towards this middle button. It's like A site is the site for both of these teams, but Denver Surrender and the Toronto Falters, as we seen last round, are just making sure they get a guy in that A site to make sure there's no free plants at this A site. Reacts is making a play, going for the pinch as he's getting into the mix. Ultra does take down Rise for the first, but Captain Slappy trades him out to keep this a 3v3 advantage. E-Bug is still sitting over this bomb site. Let's see if we can see Reacts, who's right on the outside of that window. I think the bomb may have just shielded him, so he did not see that player. It's just a patient round for really both teams. Once you can see the defense gets into position, they just stay planted. They did not move. They just waiting for the offense to make a move. And I think Niggy has made that move to make it all the way to the back, but Bowser, he's making the reads. Bombs down in the middle of nowhere. 21 seconds. Is Toronto going to be able to finish this round out?
Yeah, bombs out in the middle of nowhere is definitely a hard thing to contend with, but Toronto just falls apart, and Denver is able to push it to 4-2. Just need 2 more rounds to seal the deal there. I gotta be honest, Toronto did not look very organized on that round. I mean, you have kind of your bomb carrier trying to make the long play. He goes down. At that point, even if you have, even men lives count, it's like, what do? You have to go to the heart of Denver territory to pick up the bomb. So definitely a mistake out of them that may have ended up costing them the round. But Toronto needs to get their head in the game, because if this goes to 5-2, it's going to be very hard to come back from.
Yes, indeed. That's going to be a hard thing to come back for. But he just threw that tactical, that just get information that there are players in this game room. You got Rise getting the kill onto E-Bug. So that is a big kill for the Toronto Falters to get the man advantage. Bomb is still up in this game room. Camless and Ultra just taking their time, making sure they can regen their health and then and try to catch a Toronto Falter player being aggressive, just being overly aggressive. As you can see, Niggy getting himself into that close A corner. Vows that he's just out here in this field, just hoping he could just catch a player just peeking at the wrong time. But as of right now, it's a stalemate. 43, 40 seconds on this clock, and Denver have to get this bomb down.
Denver have to get this bomb now, but they get a kill on the captain to start, and that's going to be pretty crucial for opening up this round here. They need to capitalize on it. Falza just jumps around the corner and makes quick work out of rides, and now Toronto is down a man. They are the defending side, so they don't need to plant. They can just run down the clock. Reacts gets a kill on the Valza. That bomb has to go somewhere. Ultra, you gotta move. That A bomb side is wide open. He's hesitant to go on it because people, again, just assume there's a player on it. But in this case, it's not true. But I don't know if he started playing in time. The timer runs out, and Toronto Falters win just because that bomb side is open. But Denver hesitated too much and was not able to get the bomb down in time.
Yeah, and when you hesitate like that, it could cost you those precious a little seconds that you need. In this case, he needed probably like a whole another 1 to 2 seconds to plant the bomb. But they're still up 4-3. Camless is still on a 3 streak, so that is the positives going for the Denver Surrenders. And Toronto Falters, they're on the offensive side. So Rise does start off with the first blood on to Valza, looking like it's going to be a B plant. They're making their way. They're trying to get here quick, but Camless takes down Reacts. That is the bomb down. Camless takes down another one, and that is 2 down. They got to go find Camless. They're trying to push him. They're pushing him great, but they can't take down Camless as he gets a third. It leaves Cap and Slappy, last man alive. Is he going for the chow? Give Camless the ace. Give this man the ace is probably what he's yelling out to his teammates. Bait for me, please. I want to get this ace. I already got the glide bomb in the back pocket, so streaks are really not that important here, but I still will love the ace for my highlight reel. And he's looking for it. He sees Cap and Slappy, and E-Bugger just being patient in that A side. Cap and Slappy's probably going to turn around, make his way, pick up this bomb, and probably plant it on his B side, Destin.
Yeah, again, this is such a precarious situation for Toronto. That bomb is out in the middle of nowhere. I really didn't think they were going to be able to make it, but Captain picks it up and plants B. Now you got to deal with 2 Denver members. Camulus, by the way, sees you. So good luck, Captain. You're just kind of relegated to that building. You've got E-Bug coming right next to you. He hops the corner, but E-Bug is just ready for it. They defuse the bomb. They push it to the very cursed 5-3 scoreline, and Toronto needs to chain these rounds, and they need to do it now because Denver is just not letting up. Camulus is just having his way in every scenario he enters right now.
Yeah, man. Camulus just had a big round. I know he wanted the ace that round, but E-Bug just was not about to just lose his life right there for that last battle for his teammates to get that trade. It's 5-3. You said like where teams do not want to be. So if you're Denver Surrender, you kind of want to end it. You want to end it here, but if you do not end it here, you definitely want to end it when you're on that defending round. So let's see what they do here on this offensive round here, Destin.
My channel points on the line. I could already see them crying for their lives, but both teams playing hesitant so far. Toronto is on that A bomb side, so if Ultra makes a play there, he's going to have to deal with some boys in purple. Meanwhile, Denver is just trying to get a pick, but Toronto just doesn't want to let them have anything in what could be the last round played. You see Rise get stunned, but he's able to get away with his life. Might be able to hop on his balcony section here. But all in all, just been a quiet S&D round so far as Denver doesn't want to make any mistakes.
No, they do not. They're taking their time. 40 seconds on the clock. That is plenty of time in a search and destroy round. Looking like they're going to commit to this A site. They're trying to get a player from the Toronto Falters to just peek out a little bit, just get a little impatient, move out of their position. But these Toronto Falters, they're being patient. Captain Slappy is in a battle. He does, he is weak on HP, but he just played his life. E-Bug gets the first blood on the reacts. This A site has been taken over by Denver Surrenders. Bomb was almost down, but it did not go down. I think time may work in the favor for Toronto Falters
Wow.
and Destin.
Wow.
We are going oh wait, Denver Surrender won that round. I messed it up.
And in the last seconds, they just collapse on Toronto, and Toronto just doesn't get the idea. I don't know if they just assumed that bomb was going down, but they all just kind of
Ladies
collapse
and
on.
gentlemen, we are back here in this control. Toronto Falters, Denver Surrenders, tied a piece at 1-1. This is the most important swing map of the series. The team that wins this map will be up 2-1 in this series. Toronto are on this offensive side. Denver is on the defensive side, clearing off this A side. As you can see, Baza currently on a 3 streak. Top Life Goon with Destin. Destin, let's get this action continued.
Denver has had a great start so far as Toronto has dedicated so many resources to A, but for a while there, they just only had Vauza on the side of Denver, and Vauza was just getting it done. But now Toronto has collapsed onto the point. There's 3 members on the point with number 4 and Rye just kind of watching where he can. You see Denver creeping up to meet these players, but it looks like it's too late as that point will be secure. And now Toronto has the freedom and the time to move onto that B control zone. Denver cleans up, but it doesn't really matter. They got the point. But Denver is alive in a man count, and that might come into play, but I mean, Toronto, so many lives to work with and so much time that they just need a 4 down and to get on this B point, or they have the opportunity to just chip away at it over time. So let's see what Toronto does here.
Yeah, Brinkberg Hotel is just one, big wave, one big 4 down, and then you can just tack at the point, word to gems, and you can get that point very quickly. As these players, Toronto players, they're trying to get control of the bedroom, and that is a great start. You want to get control of this bedroom, and then you start making your way to the point. As Roz has slipped onto the point, but he quickly gets taken out by Vaza. He's waiting for his teammate to try to get the kill from this top bedroom, but he has to back up because the shots are just being, or too many shots are being shot up in that top bedroom. This Toronto players, they tried to attack that B side that wave. They get taken down. 15-21 are the lives, and are going to try to attack this again, but this time they're trying to go for the long route, Destin.
Yeah, I mean, but Denver looking really great. It just seems like every time we're in Denver POV and they aim down
Oh,
their sights, it's onto a Toronto member. But I say that Ultra goes down at the reception desk area, and now Reax is trying to make good on that play. You have Ultra spawning, though, coming up the mid. He's going to maybe catch that reception desk in number 3, and he does. You still have Captain in the back here, but Ultra takes care of him. And now Toronto is looking bad for a offensive victory. Denver gets the defensive win, which is kind of expected on control. So nothing too crazy there. But as I say that, Rides gets a last minute on the hill, but the time will expire. Toronto's offensive potential here in this round will expire. And Denver gets a round 1 win off an S&D victory.
yeah, man. And that was this last little wave of kills that Denver got, taking all 4 of these Toronto players down, saying you guys are not even going to get close to this hard point, only allowing Toronto Falters to get 3 segments on that offensive round. So you're Denver here. Your immediate response is to try to get at least 4 of these segments in this control round, and they're going to start it off by sending a full-fledged down this middle. It looks like they're going for this A side. Yeah, they are going for A. And looks like Toronto have sent 2 players here, but not 4. Rise does get a big 2. That is big by Rise. And Camless gets 2 to trade that back out. So 2 kills go back and forth as the kill starts. Still 27-28. A site looks like it could be clear for the Denver Surrender as E-Bug does jump on, and now his teammate Ultra is there as well. Camless and Ultra are just being, Camless and Bowser are just going to be nuisances watching the middle map, not letting these Toronto players cross over to the A side.
Denver's already looking dominant on offense. Like that KD advantage from Toronto map 1, I don't know where it went because Denver is just looking final here. They kicked in the playoff here in map 2 and they just haven't let the foot off the gas. Captain though gets a double kill onto Ultra and E-Bug, and that's going to do wonders for keeping Denver off the hill just a little bit more. But as I say that, Camulus is currently prone on it. Toronto finally picks him off, but I mean, he did a lot of work for just one person. Again, Toronto have reclaimed a defensive kind of structure here. Denver trying to figure out a way onto the point, but Toronto, as soon as they leave that kind of back bar area, they're just getting cut down. You see Toronto just spawning in that little bottom right corner of the mini map, and Denver is just owning every other section of the map. A nice double kill from E-Bug, and now you only have Rides defending the point. Denver might collapse on it from Toronto's own side of the map.
Oh, E-Bug was going crazy to slow them down when they was all spawning up in that backside. You got Bowser on this point by himself, trying to get the segment by himself, but there is 3 kills that go in the favor, all by the hands of Camulus. Now there's 2 of the Denver Surrender players on this hill. Can they get a third? They cannot get a third, but Camulus is watching mid. Rise, he's the next man up. There's 3 down for Toronto, but Camulus, he is on this hill. He's on a 5, looking for 6. Can he get the 6th kill? He cannot get the 6th kill. He almost got that third segment piled up, but he does get taken down. 3-14 are the lives advantage for the Denver Surrenders. So if you are Toronto Falters, you probably want to go ahead and probably just give up your life before you give up that last segment. So you're Captain Snappy. You just want to play your life here, not give up that segment, and still be down by 2 segments, but Denver Surrender up 2-0 in this control, and looking like they're going to end it here, Destin.
Yeah, I mean, Denver is just playing incredibly smart, playing together. I mean, yeah, they've got the gun skill, but like, look at how Denver moves across the map. They're doing it together, and Toronto just can't find an answer when they have 4 guns on them coming from the side flank. And Toronto is doing a good job when they're defending the front, but again, Denver is just finding ways to flank, finding ways to get around the defense, and it's working out really well for them on offense. If we go into another offense, Denver clearly knows how to play it, but Denver clearly wants to end this control here. Again, you have Vows on that A side. Toronto has a little bit more luck this time, and they will be able to get an early foot on without losing too many lives. You see number 6 and E-Bug kind of around their side on the A side, going to peek. Might get caught by Noogie in the mini map there, but Rides is on the hill watching that red carpet area. It looks like Toronto is just going to get A in a pretty boring fashion, but I mean, Toronto, you got to get B. That's what you couldn't do last time, and that's what you're going to have to emphasize doing now.
Yeah, man. I mean, for the first segment to go down and only 1 kill apiece, now just 2 apiece for both teams to make their way to this B side. But you can see that's player B. That's player 2. He is all the way in the back. He's all the way in the back, trying to sneak his way onto this B side. He finally does get there. He got his player that's underneath bottom bedroom, playing bottom bedroom. If he can get on the hill, that can make that hill go pretty quick. There is 2 kills that go in their favor. That means that these Denver Surrender players, they gotta try to they gotta get to this hill. They got the Toronto Falters got 2 players on this hill. Camless does get 1. Ultra gets the 2nd. Can Cappy stay up to take the point? He cannot. He gets taken down as the Denver Surrenders do a great job of not even letting that 2nd segment go through, but it's 23-21 lives are still in the favor for the Toronto Falters. Now the lives are in the favor of the Denver Surrenders as 3 just go down. Niggy does get a big 2 to try to save face for the Toronto Falters, but they got to get closer to this B side.
They gotta get closer to this B site. That was a good stack they had on it. Unfortunately, not able to get the second tick. But now Denver's set up, and Toronto is just falling to their knees as they step up to the point. Toronto now has to get clever, just like Denver did last offense, but they still look split up. They still look ready to be picked apart one by one. E-Bug gets reacts, Noogie gets E-Bug, but now you have Denver surrounding that B side. Then he goes Camulus goes down on that B point, but again, Toronto just kind of stepping onto point one by one. Denver was waiting for the side flank, but Toronto just kind of floods in through the front. Captain Slappy going to secure that second tick onto B, but Denver is going to be able to at least get one more good fight in here before the point goes. You see Ultra stepping on the hill, but he needs his other teammates to step on the hill as well, and his other teammates get cut down. Toronto gets an offensive win. Denver was expecting the side flank, but Toronto was just very traditional, flooded through the front and was able to get it.
Yeah, I mean, they went for the side flank last time, so I guess, Denver was like, here they come. They're going to come for the side, but they just went right through the front, jumped on that point, kept the two men at least on their points and make it go, to make those two segments go up pretty quick to take the tick advantage 9-5. But they are on this defensive round. We did see Denver take 2 straight rounds. And can Toronto take this round to force a round 5? This is going to be a big round for both teams, Destin.
Big round indeed. Denver, if they lose this round, they have to get more than 3 ticks to secure a defense for round 5. Denver not having such luck off the rip as they did last time. Reacts is defending that A site well. Denver doesn't know where they want to go. Finally, E-Bug gets killed, and React, but Rides is there to back him up. Noogie is watching the doorway to their spawn. Meanwhile, I don't know if he knows that Ultra is proning right there, but meanwhile, his Toronto teammates, Captain Slappy, is getting a kill on Devauza, and Denver just hasn't really been able to put up a good push here. Finally, Noogie goes down as Ultra probably stood up from that prone position. Now Denver might be able to push the front line up just a little bit, but they are spread out. E-Bug goes down. That top side of the map is nothing at this point now for Denver. Denver's collapsing on B. Meanwhile, Toronto is defending it well, though. It looks like it's going to come down to Captain versus Valza. Valza is on the point. Captain rotates to mid, though, tries to look at the point from mid, but goes down. Toronto has nobody defending B. Denver is getting some incredible kills here. I think Captain rotating to mid really kind of screwed them there, but Denver just a really good assault on B.
Yeah, 2 segments working on this third segment, and this could be it for them. Oh, they did not get the third segment just yet. I mean, did Toronto Falters. I mean, if you are Toronto Falters, you did a great job of not giving up that third segment. Still being up by 3 lives. 25 is the timer on this clock. So both team has to jump on a point, and as we can see, that 2 players are on B. 1 player is on A. B side is secured. Almost 1 tick on this A side, and the 1 player on this A is Camlin. So this is going to be crazy to try to get this man off this hill as they do get him off, only giving up 1 segment. So right now the segments are currently tied 4-4. Denver needs 1 more segment so they can force themselves a defense for this last round. If not, it's going to go to the kills. Looks like Denver are winning in that category. So right now they're like they're in good shape, Destin.
Yeah, but I mean, look at what Denver's doing on the map. This is their play style. They get the side flank. Nobody came through from their spawn. Toronto dedicated resources there, and nobody came through on the side of Denver. They came through Toronto's side of the map, and it worked. Again, it worked. Rise is the only one who could contest it. There's so many Denver members, though. That Denver stack is coming through on A. Look at number 6, E-Bug. He knows Toronto's desperate. He knows Toronto's not going to make the side flank. They're just watching Toronto spawn, and it is proving very successful. Denver, again with the side flank, manages to capture another point on a control. Denver with the offensive strength here on control.
Yeah, man, it was a big round right there for Denver to end it out here, 3-1 on the offense, and that's impressive. Take 2 offenses and 1 defense and a control to win it. You don't really expect that, how you win a control, but back, ladies and gentlemen, at the COD Rec League Twitch channel, Toronto Falters, Denver surrenders, Platinum Premade, quarter final playoffs. here from the COD directly. Denver Surrenders are up 2-1. Toronto are trying to make this a game 5 if they could win this hydro here. They are starting off with the early time, but the spawns are not in their favor, Destin.
Yeah, Spawn's not in their favor. This is an important map for Toronto. If they lose this, they lose the series, they lose their season as well. Toronto had the first hard point in a very comfortable win score line, so they're gonna want to look to do it again. It looks like just from this P1 that they've got a good start going, but again, Denver has these funds for P2, and now Toronto is going to have to break that P2, walking away from P1 with about a 10-point lead. But now Denver has the ability to just mow down Toronto as they come, and Toronto is just coming all together. They're coming as a group, attacking the front again, but I mean, just with pure manpower alone, Denver might not be ready for this.
Yeah, they might not be ready. As you can see, Rise has made made the route through the water, but the kills light up red for Denver Surrender as they hold off these Toronto Falters players, sending them back to the spawns, forcing them to try to child this P2. Will they do it again now that they just have went down? Have they just went down again? No, they decided just to give up the rest of that scrap time. Decide to just pick it up again and try to pick it up here on this P3.
Denver with a full 60 on that P2 hill. That's going to put them at about a 35-point lead going into P2. That's already an incredibly strong start. And if they're able to break, that's going to be devastating for Toronto. But Toronto is defending every inch of space that they have. You even see number 2 in reacts trying to anchor the spawns to make sure that that P3 flipped spawns does not come through, as you do see number 6 try to do just that, but he gets mowed down. But meanwhile, Toronto is just getting slayed out on the point. You still have number 1 and Noogie back there, but Denver is just executing anybody who dares step onto their hard point. And finally, Toronto is able to reclaim, but Denver burned a lot of time for Toronto on that point. Now Denver is spawning back there, but it might not work to their advantage, as now they're going to have to run all the way across the map for P4. Toronto is kind of almost already set up on P4, as well as managing to squeak by on that P3. So Toronto about to tie it up here in the scoreline. Not in a bad position for next hardpoint either. I say that though, Valsey gets a kill in the back, and now Denver again starting on this side of the map for this P4 hill.
Yeah, that was a big rotation by Denver. I was wondering why Toronto still had 2 players at that last hill. Kind of may have influenced the spawns here just a little bit, but now they're trying to rotate. It's been 20 seconds off of this hill, and now they're finally being able to chow on this hill. Captain takes 1. Can he get 2? He does get 2. Looking for this 3rd player that is on top dome. Can he take him down? He does take down the top dome player as he breaks onto this hill. He gets a 4th, and Captain Slappy by himself, now on a 5, has just broken into this hill and may give his team the rest of the scrap time.
Yeah, Toronto's strategy of coming in front of the hill doesn't work for control, but it is working really well for them on hardpoint, as they seem to be able to get these breaks. You even saw Denver had members watching the side flanks there, and Toronto just all came in the front and they got it. Toronto looking great on this map, looking great in this mode. It's a tie scoreline again as we head to this P5, but Denver has the spawns in their control. Toronto, you could see they're coming up that P3 side. They want to flip it, but they're going down as they cross that half-point line in the mini-map. Denver is defending really well here. A full 60 will give them a 60-point advantage going into the next set of rotations. You only have a few Toronto members who are spawning across the map. Number 2 spawns on the left side. Number 4 spawns on the right side. It doesn't look like Toronto is going to be able to put up much of a fight for old here unless Captain Slappy is able to make something happen. But at this point, I don't know if you even want that. P1 is in Toronto's control so far as we are about to move there. And Toronto also has spawns for P2 as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was a big P5 by Denver Surrenders to stretch this lead 122 to 80. But this P1, they're going to have to, Toronto Falters, they're going to have to at least try to get some time here and make sure they control these spots. They know these players are going to be coming from that backside building or this side dock area. E-Bug is trying to make his way to the back, but I think the call out has been made that E-Bug is in the back. 2 kills for Toronto Falters to give them close. They have held this first 30 seconds have all been all theirs, but I think Denver Surrenders are thinking about the most important play, and that's to get control of these P2 spawns.
Yeah, Denver wants those P2 spawns. They're going to have to deal with a ride zone and back. Toronto, meanwhile, is defending really well on that P1 still, but you see number 2 spawn in P3, and they know Denver is in that P2 area. You have Cam Slap. If he could pop off, maybe he could turn the situation a little bit better for Toronto, but Denver gets a kill on the hand. You got to deal with Noogie now, who's already on next, and he goes down as well. Denver is on to the point of next, and Toronto is in the lead marginally. But this has been a tight game the entire way through. It feels like it's been a lot of 60-minute hard points. Now it's Denver's turn. They don't want to drop this. Toronto, again, just kind of grouped together, looking to enter from maybe the same part of the map. They're waiting for a cruise missile, but it gets nothing. Denver is still holding strongly on this point. Toronto's creeping up a little bit, but fellas, you gotta go. There's 30 seconds left only on this hard point, and you already see Denver making a play for P3.
Yeah, it just seems like you get a 60, you get a 60, but they're finally breaking in with, about 40 seconds on this hill. So that is a great break by Toronto. And like I mentioned before the game, they want to get that scrap time. That is their strategy. That is how they play hardpoint. They make sure they get the scrap time. They make sure they keep the game close, and they try to get a little lead advantage. But as this next hill jumps off, Toronto Falters is here. I mean, the Denver Surrenders, they are here first. They have player 8 who's trying to control these spawns for the backside, for his team, because he knows that these spawns are important to make sure you keep the close spawns to control this hill. And Denver Surrender are looking like they're trying to accumulate a big hill here as these Toronto Falter players are trying to break into the front door.
Yeah, Denver got quite a bit of time on that P2. Now they want to get quite a bit of time on that P3, but Toronto, again, they just break through the front. This didn't work in control, but it is working in hardpoint. Ultra stops 3 Toronto members, though. Rides is the only one left alive near the point. Denver is just having a really great defense here. Rides finally goes down, and now Toronto's on the other side of the map. You may as well just stay there for P4, but Denver able to get some really good time there.
Yeah, man. If you're Denver right there, that's what you needed. You needed to get another hill in your back pocket so you can stretch this lead out a little bit more, not let Toronto tie the game out. But for the first time in this game, Toronto has made it to the hill first. They got to watch out for Ultra, who is currently on a 7, looking for that 8th kill. He gets the 8th. Can he get his 9th kill? The hill is still in control of Toronto Falters. Cruise missile in the back pocket. Ultra on that 9 before he finally gets taken down. No team is currently on this hill. Spawns in the favor of the Denver Surrenders. They're getting close to that favorable 200-point mark where they start breathing a little sigh of relief, and they just got that 200-point mark now as they're lighting up the kill feed.
They get the 200-point mark, but this game is so close. I don't know if anyone could breathe a sigh of relief, but Camulus is getting a 3-piece. Maybe the picture is starting to become a little bit clear for Denver here. Camulus eventually goes down. Toronto retakes New, but you have Ultra creeping around the back to get spawns. Toronto is there as well, though. Denver can surround from all areas, but they are spread apart. They could be picked apart, but look at number 7 in Camulus just holding down that backside. Now Denver spawning there. It's all up to Reacts to defend the point from all areas, and Denver gets it. They need 30 seconds left on this hard point to close it out. Toronto is coming from different sides of the hard point. Toronto is spawning in the back. I don't know if Denver suspects this, though, but they are getting the kills. Toronto steps onto the point. Noogie comes raining down from the heavens above, but Denver is able to get the kill and get right back onto the point. Reacts goes down. Again, it's a very test-heavy hill. If Toronto's able to contest the point just a little bit. Maybe Denver doesn't win here, but Denver is looking good. Toronto is split between old and new, and if they choose new, they are done. Denver wins map number 4, and they win the series to advance onto the semifinals of Platinum Premade.
Oh man, 250, 180 is the score for Denver Surrenders as they win this map 4. I mean, this is the best play they showing by E.